በጭንቄ ሁሉ የምታማልደኝ በጣም የምወዳት እስከዚህ ያደረሰችኝ ለእመቤቴ ለቅድስት ድንግል ማርያም ክብር ምስጋና ለእሷ ይሁን።
ሰላም የኢትዮ ፊደል ዩቲዩብ ቻናል ተከታታዮች እንዴት ናችሁ? በዚህ ዝግጅት ለኢትዮ ፊደል ይዤላችሁ የቀረብኩት ቶሮንቶ ካናዳ ውስጥ የተካሄደውን የቢቂላ አዋርድ ዝግጅት ይሆናል። አብራችሁን ቆዩ። መልካም ጊዜ። የቶሮንቶ ቢቂላ አዋርድስ በጀግናው ኢትዮጵያዊ አትሌት አበበ ቢቂላ ስም የተሰየመ የአበበን ጽናትና አሸናፊነትን በትውልድ ውስጥ እያስቀመጡ ያሉ ግለሰቦችና ድርጅቶችን እውቅና የሚሰጥ ነው። የቢቂላ ሽልማት ላለፉት በርካታ ዓመታት በየተሰማሩበት ዘርፍ በኢትዮጵያ የአበበን አይነት ድል ያስገኙ ግለሰቦችን እውቅና እየሰጠ አዲሱን ትውልድ እያበረታታ ቀጥሏል። የዚህን ዓመት ተሸላሚዎች አገራችሁ ታመሰግናቸዋለች ብለዋል የቢቂላ አዋርድስ ፕሬዝዳንት አቶ ተሰማ ሙልጌታ።
እና የኢትዮጵያ ወዳጆች በቅድሚያም በዛሬው ዕለት ለዚህ ታላቅ የቢቂላ ሽልማትና የምስጋና በዓል ሁላችንንም ጠብቆ ላደረሰን ለኃያሉ ፈጣሪ አምላካችን እግዚአብሔርን እጅግ እናመሰግናለን። ይህ ታላቅ ሕዝብና ድንቅ እናት ሀገራችን ፈጣሪ ይጠብቅልን፣ እንዲባርክልን ዘወትር እንጸልያለን። ክቡራትና ክቡራን የ2023 የቢቂላ አዋርድ ተሸላሚዎች፣ የተሸላሚ ቤተሰቦችና ወዳጅ ዘመዶች ይህን በዓላችን ለመሳተፍ ከኢትዮጵያ ድረስ የመጣችሁ ከካሊፎርኒያ፣ ከላስ ቬጋስ፣ ከቴክሳስ፣ ከኒውዮርክ፣ ከኒው ጀርሲ፣ ከኒውዮርክ አምበረስት ከአካባቢው እንዲሁም ከቨርጂኒያ፣ ከካልጋሪ እና ከኦታዋ የመጣችሁ ክቡራን እንግዶች በሙሉ በቶሮንቶና አካባቢ ነዋሪዎችና በቢቂላ አዋርድ አባላት ስም እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁልን። ሁላችሁም እጅግ ከልብ እናመሰግናለን።
To paraphrase words of his, he says Ethiopia has always had a very special place in his imagination, more so than visiting European places like France and England and others. He said he felt that he was visiting the roots of what had made him an African. That one had to go to Africa, go to Ethiopia, associate with Ethiopians to feel that sense of being an African. And I agree with him. And most of you will also agree that African roots are like the very drivers of qualities and characteristics in great achievers like those we are recognizing with the Bikila Awards tonight. I must tell you that the joy of seeing the women so lovely dressed up, dressed out in the colors that are associated with Ethiopia, the delicious food that we were provided tonight, all bring back fond memories of the times that I visited Ethiopia. I was there with Jean Chrétien, who was the Prime Minister at the time, and we did have such wonderful, wonderful stay in Ethiopia. I can tell some stories about going to buy crosses and jewelry and whatnot, and I forgot, I had made a point that I was going to wear the earrings and the ring and the pendants that I bought, and somehow I forgot. But I do have fond memories of my stay in the country of Ethiopia, some of you who were born there. And I know as I look around the room and I see so many young faces, I know that many of you born outside of the country, who are sons and daughters and grandchildren of those who know the history of your country. I'm so very pleased that you joined the old folks here tonight.
Bikila is known for his courage and determination and to succeed, as demonstrated in his victory in the Olympic marathon in 1960 in Rome, Italy, which he did without his shoes. Myself, I'm a long-distance hiker and backpacker in the mountains of the East Coast of the United States, where I hike for several hundred miles a year, often weeks at a time. But however, I am very much aware that I could not do it without a strong pair of hiking boots. So our world has really changed. Over the course of the last month alone, the world has been transformed. And this is what we must take note of. Not instantly, but in potential. And this emphatically includes changes for Ethiopia and for Africa. Africa and the global South are now moving in a new direction that we have not seen for several decades. The movements towards new economic policies of development echo the calls of a new, just world economic order that was promoted in the 1970s and 1980s by people such as Indira Gandhi and Fred Wills. So let me explain what I mean at this point. First, at the 15th summit of the BRICS from August 22nd to 24th, it was decided to add 6 additional nations to become members of the BRICS in January of 2024. This act alone, together with the existence of the BRICS for the last 15 years, has changed relations on our planet. The old order is no longer unilaterally controls the world with their so-called international rules-based order, especially Egypt and Ethiopia. The second major event that's occurred recently occurred early this month on the eve of the new Ethiopian New Year. This is when the reservoir of the GERD, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, reached a level of 42.5 billion cubic meters of water. This is the 4th and essentially final filling, and there's been no deleterious effect on the conditions of the Nile as it heads down to downstream countries.
የ2023 የቢቂላ አዋርድ የኢትዮጵያ አንጸባራቂ ኮከብ የክብር ሽልማት የወሰዱት የአፍሪካ አንድነት ድርጅትን ለመመስረት ትልቅ አስተዋጽኦ ያደረጉት ኢትዮጵያዊ ዲፕሎማት አቶ ከተማ ይፍሩ ናቸው። በተባበሩት መንግስታት ድርጅት ለኢትዮጵያ ትልቅ ድምጽ በመሆን ያገለገሉ ነበሩ። አቶ ከተማ ይፍሩ በህይወት ባይኖሩም ያስቀመጡት ታሪክ ለትውልድ የሚቆይ መሆኑን ልጃቸው አቶ መኮንን ከተማ የሽልማት ስነ ስርዓቱ ላይ ተናግረዋል።
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a very warm reception for Katama Yefu, who on behalf of him will be joined by his son tonight, his family, Mr. Makanan Katama Yefu.
Hi everyone. I'm here on behalf of a grateful family. You know, my father's being, his contribution is being recognized today. But most of all, and most importantly, it's being recognized by an organization that is named after our hero, Bikila. So as you can imagine, it is a tremendous honor to accept the Shining Star of Ethiopia. On behalf of my mother, Wizard Hansen Georgis, my brothers Mugeta, Johannes, and Bikila Katama. We thank the Bikila Awards committee and everyone for this award and for recognizing our father. Thank you so much and congratulations to all the awardees. Thank you so much.
የ2023 የህይወት ዘመን ተሸላሚው ደግሞ የቀድሞው የኢትዮጵያ አየር መንገድ ስራ አስፈጻሚ የነበሩት አቶ ግርማ ዋቂ ናቸው። የአፍሪካ አቪዬሽን አባት የኢትዮጵያ አየር መንገድን ለላቀ ደረጃ ያበቁ፣ ከኢትዮጵያ አልፈው የሩዋንዳ አየር መንገድን በሁለት እግሩ ያቆሙ በሳል የአቪዬሽን ባለሙያ ናቸው። አቶ ግርማ ዋቂ በቢቂላ አዋርድ ባይገኙም የአሁኑ የኢትዮጵያ አየር መንገድ ስራ አስኪያጅ አቶ መስፍን ጣሰው ሽልማቱን ተቀብለውላቸዋል። የኢትዮጵያ አየር መንገድ የወቅቱ ስራ አስኪያጅ አቶ መስፍን ጣሰውም በዚሁ አየር መንገዱ በነገሰበት ምሽት ላይ የዓለም አቀፍ አየር መንገድ ልህቀት ሽልማት ወስደዋል። ሽልማቱ 24 ሰዓት እያገለገሉ ያሉት የኢትዮጵያ አየር መንገድ ሰራተኞች ውጤት ነው ሲሉ አመስግነዋል።
This award, prestigious award, on behalf of the 17,000 employees of Ethiopian Airlines who are working day and night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to make their beloved airline successful. I would like to take this opportunity to express my love, respect, and appreciation to all my colleagues who make all Ethiopians, all Africans proud of this great airline. I also would like to take this opportunity to extend my sincere appreciation to Bikila Awards to recognize this achievement of Ethiopian Airlines. Especially, I would like to thank the President of Bikila Awards, Mr. Tasama Mugeta, and the board for nominating Ethiopian Airlines for this year award. Thank you very much.
የአማርኛ ሶፍትዌር በዩኒኮድ ለመላው ዓለም እንዲሰራ ያደረጉት በአርቲፊሻል ኢንተለጀንስ ማየት የተሳናቸው ወገኖች የሚያነቡበት መነጽር የሰሩ ወጣቶችን በኢንፎርሜሽን ቴክኖሎጂ እንዲደገፉ የሚያደርጉት አቶ ፍሳህ አጥላው በፕሮፌሽናል ልህቀት ዘርፍ ሽልማት ተቀብለዋል።
It's indeed an honor and privilege to be here. So many positive things, and by the way, those videos you see of me in Ethiopia when I was in 9th grade, I had hair. So COVID came and I lost my hair. In any case, really, I congratulate the Bikila Awards. There's a saying, a Chinese saying, which I use a lot. It's better to light one candle than curse the darkness. So what a big light this is. What I have done in comparison is really a small candle. So I chose to do that. Most of the achievements and accomplishments were really small, but had big impacts. So it's not how small you start, but what an impact it would have. From a play I wrote when I was 13, it was shown at the Hagar Theater and was part of the Ethiopian newspaper, developing the first Amharic software in the early 1980s. Coincidentally, I'm an Amharic engineer, so since I'm a writer, I wanted to express myself, so I couldn't find anything, so I developed the first Amharic word processor. And also, most recently, as you may have heard, developing with an Israeli company called Orca, an artificial intelligence, glasses for the blind, visually challenged to see and read Amharic text and books. And it's quite a fulfillment to hear from our blind, visually challenged brothers and sisters in Ethiopia and elsewhere, how much difference this made. The accomplishment I did was really small, but the impact is big. So, and also digitizing over 1,000 books on Ethiopia and give free access on archive. That's one small achievement. And so all this organization, Bikila Awards, is about the future. It's about the new generation. What do we need? What is the legacy? That's really very important. That's why I'm really touched with how we can move to the next generation. So small accomplishments here and there. So I have a family foundation in Ethiopia. We are awarding contestants who develop Ethiopic applications for software in our own language, Ethiopic. By the way, I saw lots of people with similar types like mine. This is our Fidel. It's part of the Unicode. If you go to Ethiopic Unicode, it's every computer, every mobile device now comes with Ethiopic built in. You don't have to download anything. So we are proud of our alphabets, and it has come, the technology has allowed it. So I have a foundation, we are helping, every year we have contestants provide apps, and so we award small amounts, 500,000 birr, not dollars. So, but at least we're one can, that's what it is. We just, instead of cursing the darkness, and believe me, there are a lot of darkness around us, but essentially each of us lighting a candle, it makes a lot of sense. That's what life is supposed to be. And so Bikila this is quite a big candle. Mine is small, but all of us, and at the end, I just like to really give that, I am a believer of God, and my spiritual is at the center of who I am. And so I will read a verse that says, "For it is God which works in you, both to will and to do his good pleasure." ስለ በጎ ፈቃዱ መፈለግንም ማድረግንም በእናንተ የሚሰራ እግዚአብሔር ነውና። So I really give thanks for God allowing us two or three of the people spoke about that. So Ethiopia, why Ethiopia is Ethiopia at the center of us is the spiritual core, and that's very important. No matter what, I was on Mazaru, and she asked me what is I talk about artificial intelligence, 3D printing, and all that kind of stuff. And the more I go closer in technology, the more it's amazing, artificial intelligence. Yesterday we saw some of it at the restaurant. I was able to show them. There's a lot of things going on. The closer and the more sophisticated the technology is, it brings me closer to God. That's what I told. And I thank God for allowing me to do this. Thank you very much.
ዝግጅታችን እንደቀጠለ ነው። የተከታተላችሁ ያላችሁት የኢትዮ ፊደል ዩቲዩብ ቻናልን ነው። ይህ ዝግጅታችን የሚያተኩረው በቶሮንቶ ካናዳ የተካሄደውን የ2023 የቢቂላ አዋርድ ዝግጅትን በተመለከተ ነው። በደብረ ብርሃን ከተማ ላይ በርካታ ኢትዮጵያውያን በእውቀት እያነጸ የሚገኘው ኃይሌ ሚናስ አካዳሚን ያቋቋሙት ርብቃ ኃይሌ በአገራችን የትምህርት ጥራት ላይ ከፍተኛ አስተዋጽኦ በማድረጋቸው የቢቂላ አዋርድ የ2023 ሽልማትን ተቀብለዋል።
Other accomplished people, so that is something I don't take lightly. It's also a little bit like coming home. My father, Professor Getachew Haile, was an honoree. My sister, Sosana Haile, I believe, was a keynote speaker at one point, not also an honoree. And I'm accompanied here by my mother, so really it's fantastic for us. So the clock isn't here, but I heard Dr. Jean. I take 5 minutes very seriously. So let me just say quickly, why did I start this school? I didn't just decide that I was going to get up, leave New York, and bring a school to Ethiopia. I got to the point, I came here as a refugee, as many of you in this room did, and I got to a point in my life where I wasn't tending to the bread and butter issues, and I felt like I was in a position to do something for Ethiopia. So I went back and I said, what can somebody living in diaspora productively do? What can I really contribute? And I spoke to as many people as I could, and I think this is sort of important because one of the things we talk about at the school is empathetic design. It wasn't just my idea. I spoke to people and it became very clear in business, in diplomacy, in scholarship, that there was a mismatch between what the country needed in terms of jobs and thinking forward and what this country's schools were producing. So I thought, okay, I'm not an educator, but I think I understand this and I can put together a project, pull together the resources and try to bring this here because I understand the context of the kind of education that I received in the US. So what we have now will be at some point 400 students in this co-ed environment, kids recruited from around the country and, as the video said, to the extent we can, admitted without regard to their financial circumstances. So that is our goal. And I just want to tell a couple of stories to say very quickly why I think it is that we're succeeding. And one is from 3 weeks after we started the school, one is from last year, and the last one is from just a week ago when I was there. Everybody comes in, every high-achieving kid comes in wanting to be an engineer or a doctor. And we talk a lot to the kids about, find your own passion, your own interest, and look around in the world and see what you can do all yourselves.
ሌላው የቢቂላ አዋርድ የሽልማት ዘርፍ ደግሞ የሙያ ወይም ፕሮፌሽናል ልህቀት ነው። በዚህ ዘርፍ የተሸለሙት ውስጥ ዶክተር ብርሃኑ ቡልቻ ይገኛሉ። በዓለም አቀፉ የጠፈር ምርምር ድርጅት ናሳ ውስጥ ያበረከቱት የምርምር ስራ የሰው ልጅ ወደ ሌሎች ፕላኔቶች ለመጓዝ ያለውን ህልም ከሚያሳኩ ሳይንቲስቶች ተርታ አሰልፏቸዋል። በሀገራችን ኢትዮጵያም ብሩህ ትውልድ በተሰኘ ድርጅት ኢትዮጵያውያን ወጣቶችን ከዓለም አቀፍ ባለሙያዎች ጋር ያገናኛሉ፣ ይደግፋሉ።
I don't know where to begin. The work that we do is is based on, I think a speaker earlier kind of hit the dot, imagination. It's all about imagination. Think about the universe and someone here from Earth doing something, trying to study, or could be a gas, it could be a galaxy filled with unknowns. We stay home here on Earth trying to understand what's happening. It's all about imagination. Between your pen and paper, with your friends and colleagues, you debate, you discuss, you study, and you come up with an idea. So that is imagination. So with the imagination, I wanted to share with you where human beings actually, in the US, the cutting technologies, in the US, Europeans, and Asian countries, where they go. In the next 5 to 10 years, we are going back to the moon. Humans will be landing, will have actually a home on the moon. What do we need to survive as a human being? Water, for sure. So my study and my research along my team, what we're trying to do is trying to find water, not only finding, but also quantifying how much water exists. And also, we wanted to see how we can harbor the amount of water we can collect from the moon surface, and so that we can provide for the people who will be going on the moon for the next 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
Now, as I'm thinking about the space, as I'm thinking about the universe, I also think about my friends, my family in Ethiopia. So me and my beloved wife, we have an organization called Brighter Generation, grew to it. We wanted to educate students in Ethiopia. So just today, we just graduated 750 students. 750 students across Ethiopia in 30 centers. You name it. Most cities in Ethiopia, we have a center. In collaboration with many diaspora professionals all over the world, we give them a platform. We don't want them to move to Ethiopia because they have responsibility, they settle their life in wherever they are, right? So we created a platform. It's a virtual system. Wherever they are, they can, at the comfort of their home, they can teach students in Ethiopia every location. So this is a dream come true. I know all of you want to give back, but you don't know how. Now we can show you how you can be impactful, passing your knowledge to the next generation of Ethiopians through virtual connections. So we have partnership with Ethio Telecom. You've seen that in the video when we signed our agreement. In addition to that, we have so many agreements between different universities in Ethiopia. Like I said, about 30 centers. This is on our second year. But next year, with a help of a bunch of people, including Ethiopian Airline, perhaps we can double, triple, and impact thousands of people and the next generation of Ethiopians to become innovative, to become a solver of their own problem with their own knowledge that we pass. Thank you so much.
ጆሞ ታሪኩ ሌላው ተሸላሚ ናቸው። በታዋቂው ብላክ ፓንተር ፊልም ላይ እንዲሁም ሌሎች ዓለም አቀፍ ዝግጅቶች ላይ የኢትዮጵያ የሌሎች የአፍሪካ ሀገራትን ባህሎች እንዲሁ መገለጫ የሆኑ በርጩማዎችንና ሚዶዎችን እንዲሁም ሌሎች ጌጣጌጦችን በማቅረብ የአህጉሪቱን ባህል ለዓለም አቀፍ በማዳረሳቸው ሽልማት ተቀብለዋል።
And the persistence of that, as that is the reason I'm standing here in front of you. During my 30 years design journey, my constant support has been my dear wife, Biroli Lebala, and my two sons, Isaac and Yakotarik, who have been my backbone, making sure I'm grounded. You know, we artists are a little bit bigger. Both my parents, played a huge role as well in making me who I am by both building the character needed to stay in the game for such a long time, raising me in a home with objects and furniture from all over the world, sparking my curiosity. They also gifted me with a younger brother who joked, "How's that expensive hobby of yours?" But nevertheless invested in my dreams not once, not twice, but 3 times. All this support from my own family, though, wouldn't have amounted for much if my work was not built on many unnamed creatives from Ethiopia, as well as across from Africa, as you've seen on the screen. That has come before me. So when I accept this award, it is also on their behalf, as I would have been an empty vessel without seeing and admiring a shalma, a bertruma, a jimache, a mido afrocomb, a tribal headrest, a Zulu or Dorze hat, and a shanty stool, a bronze head from Nefe, earth-hewn churches from Lalibela, mud mosques from Vena, and many more inspirational designs.
በኢትዮጵያ ያሉ ወጣቶች በቴክኖሎጂ ዘርፍ የመሪነት ሚና እንዲጫወቱ የሚያደርገውን ድርጅት ያቋቋመችው ቤተልሔም ደሴ ደግሞ የ2023 የፕሮፌሽናል ልህቀት ተሸላሚ ነበረች። በቪዛ መዘግየት ምክንያት በካናዳ ዝግጅት ላይ ባትገኝም ለቢቂላ አዋርድ አዘጋጆችና ለመላው የካናዳ ዳያስፖራ አባላት ምስጋናዋን አቀርባለች።
በዛሬው ዕለት ደግሞ ለሚካሄደው የቢቂላ አዋርድ የፕሮፌሽናል ኤክሰለንስ አዋርድ ተሸላሚ ነው። በካናዳ ቪዛ ፕሮሰስ መርዘም ምክንያት ዛሬ ከናንተ ጋር መገኘት ባለመቻሌ ይህንን የቪዲዮ መልእክት ይካል። በመጀመሪያ ለዚህ እውቅናና ክብር ላደረሰኝ እግዚአብሔርን እያመሰገንኩኝ ከዛም ባለፈ ደግሞ ይህንን ደረጃ እንድደርስ ስላገዙኝ ቤተሰቦቼ፣ ጓደኞቼ እንዲሁም ደግሞ የስራ አጋሮቼ ምስጋና ማቅረብ እወዳለሁ። ከዛም ባለፈ የቢቂላ አዋርድ አስተባባሪዎች፣ አስተናጋጆች እንዲሁም ደግሞ ለካናዳ የዲያስፖራ ኮሚኒቲ የከበረ ሰላምታዬን ልሰጥ እፈልጋለሁ። አይኮድ ኤርላይን ወይም ደግሞ ባጭሩ አይኮድ ኢሲሲ ላለፉት 7 ዓመታት ከ36,000 በላይ የሚሆኑ ህጻናትና ወጣቶችን ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ በሚገኙ 17 ከተሞች ውስጥ የቴክኖሎጂ ትምህርትን እና እንዲሁም ደግሞ ቴክኖሎጂ የሚያገኙ ሲያደርጉ ቆይቷል።
በኢትዮጵያውያን ዓለም አቀፍ ልህቀትና ስኬት ታዳሚውን እያስገረመ የቀጠለው የቢቂላ አዋርድ የሽልማት ስነ ስርዓት በማህበረሰብ አገልግሎት ዘርፍም ሸልሟል። ለማህበረሰቡ በሰጠው ከፍተኛ አገልግሎት የተሸለመው ኮሜዲያን እሸቱ መለሰ ከኢትዮጵያ በላከው የቪዲዮ መልእክት አዘጋጆቹን አመስግኗል። እሸቱ ለዝግጅቱ ላይ ባይገኝም ለአዘጋጆቹና ለታዳሚው አጠር ያለ አስቂኝ መልእክቱን ልኳል።
Now, unfortunately, Eshetu was not able to join us today, but just like Bethlehem, he was able to send us a video with his thanks. Take a listen.
Salam, salam, Bikila Awards, Unauthorized, Canada, Niagara, Marriott, Boom, Comedian, Shelby, Wayne, Amanda, Bikila Awards, Jamaica, Paris, Xavier, Kurdinamro, Yana, so half for enjoy. Don't get you subscribe ማድረግ ዳተሱ በሰፊው እንገናኛለን ተስፋ አደርጋለሁ። እንግዲህ ለጀስቲን ለነገሩ አይቻልም ስላልቻልኩ በሚቀጥታ ሌላ ጊዜ እንገናኛለን በሰፊው በሚል እናንተ ብቻ ቆይ ሰላም ነው።
በካናዳ ቶሮንቶ በስራቸው መንገድ የተሰየመላቸው የጥቁሩ ማህበረሰብ የጤናና ማህበራዊ አገልግሎት ተጠቃሚ ለማድረግ ትልቅ ተግባር የከነወኑት አቶ ሊበን ገብረ ሚካኤልን በማህበረሰብ አገልግሎት ዘርፍ የ2023 የቢቂላ አዋርድ ተሸላሚ ሆነዋል።
Good evening. It's a great honor and privilege. This moment is a very humbling moment, and I stand in humility, as some of our awardees have said, before God. Not just as a cliche thing to say, but if it was not for him, I know I would have not been here to stand before you and share my joy with you. There are some friends at the back there, but I have more friends elsewhere that would not believe that I have reached this stage. It was not always like this from the very beginning. So I'm humble before God, and I know that it is Him that has helped me so far to get to this point. I'm also humble because I'm among giants, big giants. To be included in a recognition such as Kuburato Katamaifu. We were young, but we were inspired at the time. People of such high, achieving. I'm also humbled because, as you saw in the video, I was part of Ethiopian Airlines at some point, so another big giant. For us as Ethiopians, I also grew up as an Ethiopian Airlines family. I'm also very honored to be among Gash Simrat. Yes, I know that he is also an awardee of Bikila Awards, but those are the giants that have come before us, and so that makes me very humble, and all the other awardees as well, and my good sister who's going to come after me. And of course, Norwegian Augustine, I also pay respect as our elder in the community, always been inspired as an organization for the work that you have done for the Black community in Canada, so thank you. It is also a moment of gratitude, so I would like to say thank you to the Bikila Awards committee and the board. It's also a joy, I think, to get recognized for doing something that we like to do. I think it's a blessing too, so I'm also very thankful for that. I'm thankful for the organization I represent, our board, our staff. I know I have a couple of staff members here. But most importantly, I'm grateful for my daughters, Athena and Bethlehem, who are sitting at the back, and my grandson, Mishael. They are my inspirations. And they are, grounding me all the time. Finally, a mention of humility is also being recognized under the name of a great hero of Ethiopia, Bikila. We grew up singing Marathon, 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 Litwa, Ababena, Mamono, Balebitwa. You remember this? Yeah. Tokyo, Bachama, Zilmenya, So, as a young person singing that and to be able to recognize his name, this is such a humbling moment for me, and I'm very grateful. Thank you again for the awards committee.
We focus a lot on the people, but sometimes an idea grows bigger than just one person. It becomes a group, an organization, and it lives on long well after the people who founded it are still there. And with that in mind, it's my great pleasure to announce the 2023 Bikila Community Service Excellence Award winner, People to People, for their outstanding community service. Please join me in welcoming to the stage the president of P2P, Mesar Hassan.
I recognize I am between your pillow and this. So Thank you for waiting, but ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the Bikila Award Committee, fellow awardees, to be amongst giants, as Leland said, is a huge honor. And our cherished P2P supporters, I'm deeply honored and humbled to stand before you as the president of People to People Canada, fondly known as P2P to the Canadians here, to accept this prestigious Community Service Excellence Award on behalf of our entire organization. This recognition isn't just about acknowledging our efforts, it's celebration of our values and mission that inspire us. Our slogan, as you heard, together we are making a difference. I'm going to repeat that. Together we are making a difference, and we saw that tonight. And it's just not words, it's a commitment to a brighter future. And just like the Bikila, the great Bikila, who inspired us all, we believe in determination, dedication, and unwavering spirit to make a difference. So friends, this Bikila Award that you see here is not just P2P's, it's your excellence. It belongs to each one of you who have supported P2P, sponsored a child's future, volunteered your time, your skill, your energy, and contributed to our cause in countless ways. I also wish to recognize the heart and soul of P2P, our exceptional, passionate, past and present board members. There are too many of you to name, just say, give me a woo, over there. There's somewhere over there. You know who you are. I tell you, I have never been so proud to work with so many dedicated, inspiring, passionate board members that volunteer their time, and most of them have been working with P2P for over 2 decades. So big thank you to the unwavering dedication that has guided us this far. As you saw, our flagship sponsorship program has helped over 2,000 kids in the last 2 decades. And this is possible because of all the unwavering dedication and support that we are getting from all of you. You've heard also here in our community, we're really focused on advancing our youth through mentorship. And there's a lot of people here who are talking about mental health. Mental health is a big issue within our community, not only here in Canada, but around the world, especially after COVID. This is a huge pandemic, just like it was back in the days when we started P2P with 22 kids. As we stand here today receiving this award, we continue to draw inspiration from the remarkable Bikila, whose legacy embodies values of determination, dedication, and resilience. Just as he faced numerous obstacles and yet led Ethiopia to victory with a shining legacy, we too at P2P are determined to make a lasting impact for our community. In closing, I wish to emphasize the importance of supporting grassroots organizations. You've heard about all these amazing organizations. P2P was a grassroots 24 years ago. We started just with 22 kids. And today, we have helped thousands of kids. And most importantly, I want to make sure that you're also focused in helping newer initiatives like Go, for instance. There's an organization that's being started within our community here who is focused on helping elderly families and autistic children. Ethiopia Bridge, Liban just mentioned it, focused on breaking the stigma around mental health and promoting mental health education, among many other grassroots organizations. These organizations like P2P form the backbone of our community, tirelessly working to make a positive impact. So I invite you all to get involved with us and let us together continue to make a difference. And again, on behalf of P2P, thank you to the Bikila Award for this recognition and honor. Good evening, everyone. Thanks.
አዳም አወቀ፣ ዶክተር መክሊት ተስፋዬና ሊሊያን አበበ ደግሞ በትምህርት ዘርፍ ባሳዩት ከፍተኛ ስኬት የቢቂላ አዋርድ ሽልማትን በምሽቱ ወስደዋል።
በጭንቄ ሁሉ የምታማልደኝ በጣም የምወዳት እስከዚህ ያደረሰችኝ ለእመቤቴ ለቅድስት ድንግል ማርያም ክብር ምስጋና ለእሷ ይሁን። እንግዲህ ዛሬ የቢቂላ አዋርድ በማግኘቴ እጅግ በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። ነገር ግን ይሄ ቢቂላ አዋርድ በላይ ያስደስተኝ ከማን አጠገብ የቢቂላ አዋርድ እንደመሸለም ነው። ዛሬ ሁላችሁም የቢቂላ አዋርድ የምታገኙ እንደና አባባ ከተማ የፍሩ እንደና አባባ ግርማ ዋቄ ሁላችሁም እጅግ የሚያስደንቅ ስራ ነው የምትሰሩ። ለኢትዮጵያ እና ለኢትዮጵያኖች እና ለዓለም በሙሉ ተስፋ ናችሁ። ሁላችሁም የምትሰሩት ትልቅ ስራ ነው እና እኔ አዳም በትንሹ አቅሜ እናንተ ጎን ይሄ ቢቂላ አዋርድ በማግኘቴ እጅግ በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። ትልቅ ክብር ተሰምቶኛል እና ስለዚህ የቢቂላ አዋርድ ኮሚቴ የፕሬዚደንት ጋሽ ተሰማ አመሰግናለሁ። ቤተሰቦቼ በሙሉ አባቴ፣ እናቴ እና እህቴ ለሁላችሁም ያደረጋችሁልኝ እንደ ዘላለም አመሰግናችኋለሁ እና በመጨረሻ እንደምታውቁት አማርኛ የመጀመሪያ ቋንቋዬ አይደለም። ነገር ግን በእንግሊዝኛ መናገር ይሄ ሁሉ በቀላሉ እችል ነበር። ግን ምን ያህል በኢትዮጵያዊነቴ እንደምኮራ ለማሳየት ነው። መጨረሻ በትዕግስት ሁላችሁም ስላዳመጣችሁኝ አመሰግናለሁ።
I don't think Adam needs any outro there. He's an absolutely amazing student, and that's what the Bikila Awards are all about, especially when it comes to the scholarship portion. But of course, education isn't just about helping children get to that stage. It's also about honoring and welcoming and actually awarding love.
Hello, everybody. First, I want to thank the organizers, the president, for organizing this incredible night. You know, I think as a younger person in here who hasn't seen this type of gathering, one year you can't help but be so honored. Adam, you said it, to be so young and to be recognized amongst people who have done such incredible things. It's an incredible honor, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think first, of course, I'd like to thank God, who's really had such a large impact and has led me in my life. To my rocks, my family, my parents. They're sitting here in the back, and I think, again, a lot of us younger people, older people, they're the ones who have instilled in me everything that I know and the values that I lead my life with. So to my mom, my dad, and my other supports in the room, Yahun, and my aunts and cousins, thank you very much. I think to talk about my work in like 20 seconds is pretty hard, but the essence of it is that in 2016, there was one Black medical student at the University of Toronto. And we know that our children, our Black children, our Ethiopian children, where they go and what they do is not a matter of capacity. Everyone is born capable. It's a matter of access, resources, mentorship, right? These are things that are systemic. They're so much more than the abilities that someone is born with. And so the work that I do with the Black Medical Student Association that I did at Queen's University, the things that help our children succeed, that's what's close to my heart, and in addition to education, now moving into medicine, when we think about health outcomes and the disparities. I've actually worked with Levin in the past as a pre-medical student, and those of us in this field understand that, again, it's systemic. When we think about access, we think about what doctors are in the room, what they're thinking of when they think of their patients, and what patients have in order to get the care that they need. And that looks like so many different things and conversations at so many different levels. But the essence of it is just thinking about where we come from, and as physicians now, like what we can do.
Now, welcome to the stage, Lillian Ababa.
ሰላም እንደምን አመሻችሁ። ከሁሉ በፊት እዚህ ስቴጅ ላይ እንደሆን ይሄን እድል የሰጠኝን እግዚአብሔርን አመሰግናለሁ። I hope ማለት የፈለኩት ገብቷችኋል፣ ግን I will emphasize in English that I'm only here today by the grace of God. I am deeply grateful to Him for the guidance, people, and experiences that have shaped me into who I am now. I need to thank my family for being the support system I could not live without. To my parents, Araya and Kumar, words simply cannot amount to what you mean to me, but just know that you're the reason why I see no obstacle as too large, and that your strength supports my own in every way. To my little brother Jojo, thank you for being the comedic relief I need during the exam season. And to my cousin Naomi, who traveled all the way from Duke to be here today, thank you for being my inspiration since childhood. And just to all the friends, community members, and peers who have supported me to this point, I thank you deeply. When I sat in this very hall 4 years ago attending the 2019 Bikila Awards, I did not picture myself getting any closer to the stage than when I won the Raffles Prize, but what I do remember is the profound impact that the awardees left on me. I eagerly lingered on to every word of their speeches and absorbed every second of their stories. And I think sometimes we don't realize the impact we can have on people, but to me, community is critical. We often hear the words role model, mentor, or example, but to me they're more than just words, they're in fact forces. And so I say let's keep on supporting one another and helping one another achieve our fullest potential in the name of the Bikila Award. I thank you so much to the board of directors for having me here today for this honor, and I wish everyone a great night. Thank you so much.
የ2023 የቢቂላ አዋርድ ሽልማት ስነ ስርዓትን በተመለከተ ለኢትዮ ፊደል ያቀረብኩላችሁ ዝግጅት ይሄ ነበር። መልካም ጊዜ። ለተሸላሚዎች ደግሞ እንኳን ደስ ያላችሁ። ኢትዮ ፊደል ከቶሮንቶ ወደ እናንተ የሚቀርብ የዩቲዩብ ቻናል ነው። ሰብስክራይብ ማድረጋችሁን አትርሱ፣ እንዲሁም ሼር። መልካም ጊዜ።